Good morning. It's Unity Northwest Church coming to you live on Sunday. I always have to check the date when I do this. February 21st. It's great to have you with us. I hope you enjoyed Tatiana's beautiful music. I know I did. And we are so blessed to have her and to have you with us this morning, coming to you from my home. And I am Reverend Elizabeth Mora. I am the senior minister here at the church, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this Sunday service. And if you are watching us today live, I hope that you are nice and toasty wherever you are. And if you're watching us in the future, well, same thing. And it's good to have you with us, whether you're with us here on Sunday or whether this viewing happens sometime in the future. You are part of our church family, and we are so glad that you are with us. We have a fun day ready for you today. I have a new book series that I'm starting today, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, and I know that you are going to find it just as exciting as I did when I first got in touch with this material. And if you are new to us, please feel free to drop us an email, and we'd be happy to send you more information about the church. In these strange times, since we can't meet you in person, we can meet you online. I'm also available for phone calls if you ever have any questions. I'm available for you even though we're not together in person right now. And as you've seen, many folks have already been saying hello over in the chat box. So continue to say hi, and we will continue to check in with you the way that we're able to these days. And let's welcome and say hi to my co-host, Mr. Chris Selvik. Welcome. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning. It's good to be seen.
Yes, so good to be seen. And so Chris will be helping me. We'll be leading the two of us will together open our service now in prayer. And so I invite you to get centered, get settled, and to join me in this time of opening prayer. And so here we are, Spirit. We are here in this present moment, and we open ourselves up to the possibilities, to the potential that is in front of us, while at the same time honoring exactly where we are. And we take this prayer time to get in touch with our soul, with our spirit, with our true self, in whatever name we give it. The you that goes beyond all the doing and all the knowing. We get in touch now with the essence of us, our God nature. We might call it the Christ or the Buddha. We might call it that little spark within, the energy that we are. We are divine. We are whole in this moment. And when we forget that, when it appears that we are not, this is the purpose of prayer, to come back. This is the purpose of church, of reading truth materials, of meditation, over and over again. As often as we can, we come back to the true self. Let me inhabit that now. And from this centered place, let us send a blessing, especially this morning, to Texas and to all of those who have been suffering without power, without food, without water, these things that we take for granted. We send our love and our blessings, and we let wisdom come forth on how to continue to lift this region up, back into a place of stability and safety. And we send that blessing out to the whole world now. May all beings be well and happy and free from suffering, and may they know the truth of who they are. They are God in expression, God made manifest. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen.
All right. And if you'll join me now in expressing our faith using the words of the invocation. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my human limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. And the daily word for today is let go and let God. I do what is mine to do and release the rest. Over the years, I've accepted more and more responsibility as I've grown in maturity and experience. I've also grown in wisdom as I'm able to discern what is mine to do. I've learned what to take on and what to leave for others. I have also learned not to exhaust myself by taking on too many commitments. Perhaps most important, I know when to use my will and determination to make things happen and when to let go. I recall times in my life when I felt frustrated that events did not unfold the way I had expected, like they ever do, really. But I can now see that they are unfolding perfectly, often in ways better than I could have imagined. Now I let go easily, trusting in that perfection. And the Bible verse is, in him we live and move and have our being. And even some of your poets have said, for we too are his offspring. And that's Acts 17:28.
Great. Another beautiful daily word. And
Mhm.
to top that off, then we have our Christ candle lit, that flame that reminds us that the Christ is alive in us. And this is the truth of us, the light. Don't you? I think it's so cool.
Mhm.
It's, it's an old timey fashioned, but I love how how the light comes through. So
Yes.
that's our Christ candle for today. And thank you, the Christ that we know as Chris. We will see you a little bit later. And now is the time when we all get to greet each other online. If you haven't had a chance already to come online, please do that. And let's check in and see who we've got here. I was checking in with people already this morning. We have got Jeanette, Mark, and Jean were on early listening to the music. Our wonderful youth teacher, Carolyn, is here, and Karin, a balmy 31. So I expect everybody is already out in their shorts. Is that right? So we've got Hal and Jeanette and Kat and Beth, our wonderful Facebook administrator. Good to have you on. Yes, thank you, Chris. Praying for all those down in Texas for sure. And good morning to Ron. And I would like to remember my wife, Lisa, on what would have been her 55th birthday. Lisa was a regular to Unity until her sudden passing in 2018. Ron, we have such love for you and such love for Lisa. I wish I had met her, and so many were lucky to know her. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you as you remember her and as you celebrate her life, and we lift you up. Anne, 40 degrees on Tuesday. Wow, that is going to feel like shorts weather. And Jeanette is passing on a blessing. Thank you, Jeanette. Hi, Susan. Great to have you. And Chris sending some condolences. So thank you for everyone. Let's see. I've got a good morning here. I missed Yolanda. Hello. Great to have you. Marilyn, I think she's here every week. Hi, Marilyn and Lori and Rob. Audrey's on. Finally, her computer works. This poor woman, I think for a year you have had computer issues. So everybody, welcome back, Audrey. She has tried. She has sent me texts like, I can't get on. So great. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Mark, Joan. We've got all the gang here. Anita. Oh my gosh. Of course, Jeffrey is wearing shorts today. Don and Sally took a nice walk. So we are all checked in here, I think. And we've got, there we go. There is Cindy. We love our Cindys. We love our Chris's. We love our Jeanettes. We have multiples of all of those. So welcome, everyone. Great to have you. That was our greeting. And so now I am not Chris Selvik. I will turn that banner off. I'm going over to like 4 different places here to click buttons. There we go. It's just me. And now is our fabulous time of meditation. We've all checked in. The energy in the room is buzzing because we've all said hi. Here we are. And now we're ready to continue from that prayerful meditative daily word vibe that we've already gotten this morning into a time of sacred meditation. And as we join together and breathe together, I gently close my eyes if that works for me. Center in and go within. And as I do, I let everything else fade into the background. It's not gone, just in the background for now. Let me purposefully bring awareness to the moment. That is what we do in meditation of this style. We bring our awareness to everything. We're aware that we are here, that I am breathing, and then a thought may come by, or we may notice something in the body. And we're aware in that moment. And when we are aware that we have noticed whatever it is, that means that we are right back here in the center, noticing and aware. I let the breath come and go. With that simple act, I find peace. No thought needs to be added. I don't have to label it or notice and call it and bring up details. I can simply be in it. I breathe. There is a clearing. There is openness. My firsthand experience of life, of the present moment, of being here, is where I keep my attention. And when I lose it, I bring it back. And so I rest now in full awareness that I am. I am present. And I have opened my heart, opened my soul to yet a new realization of how deep I go, how blessed I am. And I send this blessing out into the world. I let my time of peace in the field of oneness go out and touch everyone, everything, every area. No separation. Love and peace to all, starting here with me and spreading out. And so it is. Amen. We live a life that is often like we are in the movie theater. We're watching it on the screen, and we think that that is our life. But the image on the screen, it isn't your life. But just like you're sitting in a movie theater, often we have a narration and a picture going on in our head. We're watching this movie called our life. So think about sometimes when you take a walk, for instance, you might be walking down the street and it's as if you're looking at someone else's movie. I'm walking. Oh, there's a nice tree. I like that tree. I remember that tree. I climbed on that tree when I was little. No, wait, was that the tree? No, it was that one over there. Oh, and how young was I when I started climbing trees? Oh, and that reminds me of my 8th birthday. And I think I had chocolate cake. And the mind is off and running. And in that moment, where's the tree? The tree is kind of lost. We've forgotten the tree. We're not even living the life with the tree. We're living some past story, some future story. Once again, we're living this movie in our life. And one of our goals in life, perhaps the main goal in life, is to get off of the movie screen and into the seat. Get off the story of our life and get into our actual life. And to do that is to live as an untethered soul. And that is our book that we'll look at for the next 5 weeks. We use the book as a tool to look at the deep teaching, which is part of unity, getting to the core of who we are and to live from that place in our life. And this book by Michael Singer, I don't know if any of you have read it. If you have, pop in the comments and let me know. And if not, you might want to go ahead and grab a copy of it. It's one of those books that I read in 1 or 2 sittings. Something about his voice spoke to me. And I just zipped through this book and I highlighted just tons and tons of it, you can see. So the untethered soul, the soul that's not connected to that screen, aware of the screen, but realizing that the screen isn't me. There's a big difference between me and my story. Eckhart Tolle also talks about that. There's you and the story about you. So when I ask you, who are you? What comes to mind? Who are you? How would you answer me if I was in the church with you right now? I looked you in the eye and I said, who are you? You'd probably tell me your name. You might tell me what you did. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a minister, and I've lived in this area for most of my life. But that's not who you are. That's the life that you lived. Those are the things that happened to you. Those are the things that you did. Who are you behind all of that? Who are you when you get off the movie screen? Michael Singer says that you already know how to find yourself. You've just gotten distracted. You not only have the ability to find you, you have the ability to free yourself. That's why he uses the image of this galloping horse on the front of his book. Take a moment to feel into what that would feel like. What would that feel like to be like that horse, to be that free, to really find yourself? And guess what? You are in here. It's one of those inside jobs again, and from a different perspective, in the way that Michael Singer leads us. So let me introduce you to Michael Singer joining Oprah.
So I started reading it. First, part 1 is about awakening consciousness, which we've talked a lot about on the Oprah Show and did a 10-part series with Eckhart Tolle on the web back in 2008. And what I realized is that there are many paths in to understand this way of consciousness. And you talk about in the very first chapter, the voice in your head. Mm-hmm. And you described it in such great terms. I started reading, I didn't put the book down, luckily I had, enough time on that particular day. And I've now shared it with, I can't tell you how many people, and couldn't wait to be able to share it with everybody else.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So what is the voice inside our head?
Well, there's something we listen to on a regular basis. The problem is we think it's us. Mm-hmm. So, for example, you look at a vase and it says, God, look, that's a very interesting shape, but I don't really like the color that much. It reminds me of my grandmother's vase. And all of a sudden we have somebody narrating and talking inside our head. Mm-hmm. That's not you.
Yeah.
Right?
Those are all your thoughts about the vase.
And more as I watch that, I realize it never shuts up, that it talks about everything. It judges everything. It thinks about everything.
Right. In the early 70s, Michael Singer was a young economics student studying for his doctorate. Sitting with a friend one day, he noticed a lull in their conversation. And in that quiet little lull moment, he became aware of the thoughts that were running through his head. He realized that voice, that incessant voice that expresses worries and doubts and anxieties, was not really him, but he was the observer of the voice. That inner dialogue was an expression of his psyche, not his soul. And that was the beginning of his awakening.
And that was my path. That was the beginning of my path.
So what happened actually in that moment now that you can describe? I know Eckhart Tolle has said that that is the awareness, the awareness of the thoughts, or the awareness of the voice inside your head is where consciousness resides. And that is who we really are.
Yes.
So that's what you came to.
Yes.
That was your open door.
Yes.
To the path to understanding yourself as a spiritual being inside a physical human body.
With a mind.
And isn't this the most important thing ever?
Period.
To get the period. Bar none.
None.
This is the road to the spiritual path.
Yes.
Is to understand that you are a spiritual being. And the way to understand that you are a spiritual being is to know that you are not all of those thoughts.
That's the key, right? Because so far we can't say what you are because that's a thought, right?
Right, that's a thought.
Just, you're not the thought. Why? Because I'm watching it.
Yes.
You are there watching these thoughts. And sometimes people say to me, but which of those are me? None of them are you. You are the one who's watching.
Okay, so I got this. I've shared this, so if you all have heard it before. When I was in India, I got it really clearly. I mean, I'd understood it through Eckhart. I'd understood it through Transcendental Meditation. I really got it. I was in India earlier this year. And there was a yogi who was leading me in meditation. And it was just the two of us. And he had me, he said, close your eyes. And now I'm going to name different objects. And one was a red triangle, and one was the moon, and one was a white picket fence or whatever, all these objects. And he said, hold on to the object in your mind. And then when I name the next object, let it go. What I realized in that conscious moment was that that's what's happening all the time. Red triangles and picket fences and chairs and thoughts about everything are coming in, and you can let those thoughts, I'm not good enough, I lost my job, I can't believe he left me, I can't believe my kids did it.
They're thoughts.
They're thoughts.
They are not you.
They're not you. So how do we begin to separate ourselves from the thoughts? That's the question.
Right, and that's the key. What I love that you said is that really is the beginning of spirituality.
That
because
is.
To separate what you're not from what you are, if you don't do that,
right,
you're going to stay lost. The self is spiritual. The one who's watching is the gateway to spirituality. So if you continue to just get involved in the mind, in the thoughts of the mind, this true spiritual path doesn't take place.
The voice in your head. I think that's the thing that I liked the most about this book, is to look at the voice in my head and to almost see it like a person. Like, wow, there really is this other track running in my mind. There's me, and then there's this talking, and then when I can notice it, I realize that there are two seeming entities. So do that right now, if you will. Close your eyes for a second and say, hello. Say hello in your mind to yourself. You're saying hello to yourself. So who is talking and who is listening and who is watching both of those things happening? Who's saying hello and who's receiving it? It's sort of, a mind-blowing experience. Like, wait, what I thought I was all of this chatter that was running in my mind. I thought that this crazy roommate that never shuts up, because if I'm not looking within, I don't notice the difference. And there is a difference. And this little voice in my head does a lot of this. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. It looks for what's wrong a lot of the time. That's what the ego does. Wrong, 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 wrong. And you are the voice that's beyond labels. We found this in your brain. It's like this monkey is just going around and around, clang, 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 clang. That's why we call it monkey mind. And it happens to all of us. And we talk about it all the time here. And what we're looking for is what's behind it. Because it's there, but we've gotten so used to it, and it's so easy to identify with those thoughts. So you're walking down the street and you're looking at the tree. Right there, you're a person just looking at a tree. Next thing you know, there's a whole story about it. But you are the person that's actually just standing there looking at a tree. Simple. And really, you're just a person. You're just you, this spirit. And that's what we're trying to get at as much as possible. That's what Michael and Oprah just said. The most important thing is to get that distinction and to get in touch with the true self. The true self, beyond your monkey mind. And Michael says, first, become conscious enough to understand your predicament. That's what we're doing right now. We're getting conscious of it. Then commit yourself to your inner freedom. Understand what's really going on, and then commit yourself to pivot. And it's fascinating work to do. And that's what I encourage you to do in the next week, especially before we look at the next chapter here, is to spend some time closing your eyes and really kind of looking at what's going on in here. Catch yourself starting stories. You wake up first thing in the morning. Catch yourself. Oh, I didn't get enough sleep. Darn it. I wonder what I'm going to do today. Oh, I've got to call this person. And the list starts. You are not your lists. You are not your lists. Those of us that like lists, I know that's shocking, and you probably don't want me to take that away from you, but that's where your freedom is. Reclaiming you and your real life, the life that matters, that spiritual life that they were talking about. So if you're willing to experience that, instead of fighting it, you will find the depth of your being. You will begin to see the secrets of the heart. Those thoughts are what fuel depression and anger and resentments and war. Those thoughts that run all the time because we hold on to things, we've labeled it, we've put it in a box, including ourselves. What are the labels that we put on ourselves or situations that if we can let them drop and we can run free, like this horse on the beach, if we can run without judgment, then we will find the secrets of our heart. We will find a way to live with more peace. And Charles Fillmore is even on board with us here. There exists in the subconscious a multiple of people. Yeah, we're all a little bit multiple personality, aren't we? There's the part of me that's happy. There's the part of me that's sad. There's the part that likes to watch movies. There's the part that doesn't like loud sounds. There's all these different people in here. There's my work face. There's my friend face. There's my Zumba face. There's all these different faces. And really behind all of them, those are just labels, roles, and activities that at the core of each of us, we're all the same, that we are our spirit. We are our spirit. Michael Singer says, it's as though there's somebody in there with you. You might actually say you have a roommate, and it can ruin anything within a moment's notice. It's the roommate. You got a nasty little roommate in there who's ruining things, who's taking you away from the moment, who's taking you away from the truth, and who's creating drama. Wherever there's drama, there is your roommate. And your roommate is like screaming in your ear. No, that's your little roommate on your shoulder. Some of you may remember this movie, Single White Female. Nice young girl gets a crazy roommate who joins her and tries to be exactly like her and ruins her whole life. Well, we all have that single white female roommate running around in our head. Maybe that's why that movie was so popular, because on some level, in the subconscious, that's happening if we're not aware. So now that we're aware of the predicament and we can put our energy towards solving it, we can stop the fighting. And here's what I say we need to do. We need to give that roommate an eviction notice. Bad roommate behavior. That's the ego running incessantly without us bringing online our spirit to counter it, to say, thanks for sharing, roommate, but you need to move out now. You might visit from time to time, but you're no longer going to run the show. I'm not sharing this precious space with you anymore. That's why we meditate, fill ourselves up with affirmations of truth, that God is everywhere, not affirmations of, I'm going to get a new car. Affirmations of spiritual truth. And you know it's an affirmation if it can only be true. I may or may not get a car, but God is always present. That cannot change. That is an affirmation. I live in the space of God. I am a being of God. Those things are always true. What's going on in my temporary circumstances changes. So part of evicting our roommate is studying this book, is reading this book and looking at it on Sundays and taking it deeper. Because if you could get rid of that roommate just for a bit, the peace and serenity would be the nicest vacation you've ever had. Are you ready for a vacation? I am. If you're ready for a vacation, then let's look at that roommate. Let's deal with that roommate and that story. So it means slowing down and setting an attention and noticing a lot throughout the day. Put a little Post-it note somewhere, everywhere. Roommate? ? Who's running the show right now? So the next time you're upset, the next time you're worried, the next time you just feel sort of, crazy, who's running the show? Where's my roommate? And then you'll realize this roommate is right here. Negative, worry. I am the one beyond the worry. I notice the worrier. And that really helps me when I close my eyes and I can notice it. And this morning I had an experience of it. Just wait 5 seconds, you'll have an experience of it. And so I was sitting on the couch meditating before service, and my cat was on my lap. And a whole story will start to come up when it comes to my cat. Oh my gosh, I love my cat. He's so adorable. I can't believe that we rescued him and that he was in a hoarding situation. And I'm so glad that we figured out what he can eat now. And he got those 8 teeth pulled. Oh my God. I had not seen my cat since I started that dialogue. And then I realized I'm now in my head about my cat and I'm not here with my cat. Oh, that was the roommate. Narrating, telling a story, even somewhat neutral of a story, talking. And then I stopped the talking. And I really noticed my cat again. And I was just there with my cat. And you can do that when you go for a walk. Notice how much you start labeling the tree, and then, oh, I like that tree, or darn those people, they're driving too fast. Labeling, labeling, labeling. Because the mind wants to put it into an organization and a structure so that it doesn't have to think about it as much. I know what that is, and I know what that is. And so I've labeled it, and I never see it again. I just hear or see the story. So experiencing things firsthand, minus the story, brings you peace, a vacation into the core of who you are. You are not the voice. You are the one who hears the voice. Really take that in. You hear the voice. There is something beyond the voice noticing it. You're the awareness and the consciousness beyond it. Consciousness is the highest word you will ever utter. Think about how often we utter that word. Consciousness. I hope you utter it a lot. You can't take one of our classes here without it being sort of drilled into you. Consciousness, consciousness. Life is consciousness. You are consciousness. Consciousness is the key. What does that mean? Awareness. In the present moment. Beyond all of this, what is underneath it? The watcher. You are the watcher. And over again, it also helps to say what we're not. We are not our thoughts. It helps sometimes to say what we are in the positive and what we are in the negative. Via positiva, via negativa. You are the watcher. You are not your thoughts. And what that looks like then is meditation, introspection, calming down your roommate. How do I calm this roommate down? Well, letting go of our thoughts by noticing. This is the whole point of meditation. You know, that meditation thing that's tough, that we all struggle with to keep doing every week, every day, more than we wish. Even I, who has a regular practice, wishes I did more. I wish that I got to retreats more often. So doing what you can, meditating and calming that mind, listening to your heart. Before you get that first cup of coffee, I know, shocking, before the first cup of coffee, can you go within and spend some time noticing how much the roommate is doing? And then you'll be on your way to finding that you are the Christ. The truth of you comes out. Michael says that observation brings you to an awareness that there's something inside of you beyond the voice. That's what happened with my cat this morning. There I was in meditation. So when the thoughts go off and you notice, and I know you have experienced that, the thoughts go off and you're like, oh, I'm thinking again. That's you, the one who just noticed. Isn't that great? Because probably the next thought was that was bad and darn it, I fell into the trap again. But that's actually the good news. That was you coming online and catching it. That's the point of observation. You might spend some time journaling about it, but mostly just notice. Eckhart Tolle, be the silent watcher of your thoughts and behaviors. You are beneath it. You are the stillness beneath the mental noise. You are the love and joy beneath the pain. Those are comforting, powerful words. You are the stillness beneath the noise. Everything that you need is right there. The peace that you seek, you already are. So keep calm and observe the mind. I know I keep saying it. I've probably said it 20 times just today. Observe the mind. You won't believe how much of the movie you've been buying into. I know I have. And they said it on the interview there. There's nothing more important to your growth than realizing this, that you're not the voice. You're the one who hears it. You're not that. You are this. So come to know the one who's listening. Observe, meditate, be. Buy the book. Maybe read it. Maybe find some Michael Singer interviews on YouTube. There are tons of them. Find the observer self inside yourself. And that is when you will indeed find the peace that you're seeking. There is a way. Let us find the observer.
You are so much more than a body, more than your mind. What you are is the great I am, before and after time. You are here and now, the healer, as you are being healed. For the great I am lives in and through you. That's how it is revealed. And you are the I am. That's all you need to be. Here to make a difference, to set and be set free. You are so much more than your feelings, more than you feel. Though it takes you to a deeper place that's asking to be clear, you have that voice within you, the answers every day. And you hear it every time you get out of the way. 'Cause you are the I am. That's all you need to be. Here to make a difference, to set and be set free. Oh, you can pass, you can hide, you can just go for the ride. You can stay, you can play, it's the right thing. Either way, you are the I am. That's all you need to be. Here to make a difference, to set and be set free. That's all you need to be. Here to make a difference, to set and be set free. Here to make a difference, to set and be set free. Yes, you are the I am.
Thank you, Megan McDonough. So great to have you singing with us today. And now the truth of us is able to give back into the spiritual universe. As we bring forth our tithes and love offerings, we do that from that true self. We let go of any story and we give generously. Grateful for this time, grateful for you, grateful for the support of your spiritual community. And as we take those love offerings, I remind everyone that we have a number of ways that you can give: online, mail, even drop by in person. And now we bless this offering. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And Chris is back now
Hi.
to help us. Hello again with our upcoming announcements. So welcome back, Chris.
All right. Well, Reverend Elizabeth is teaching a new series in March called Spiritual Hodgepodge. It's a little bit of a lot. So the series begins on Tuesday, March 2nd at 2 different times, 1 to 2 p.m. and 7 to 8 p.m., and will end on March 23rd. Subjects will include spiritual dynamics, prayer, one presence, and basic meditation. All are welcome. The annual meeting will be held on Sunday, March 14th after the service. There will be no fellowship that day, and we'll be discussing everything you wanted to know about Unity Northwest, and the members will be voting on 2 board members. So if you're interested in running on the board, please contact the church office. Next, the Chaplain Orientation will be held via Zoom on Saturday, March 20th from 10 a.m. to noon. And if you're interested, please contact the office. Have been a chaplain for the last 7 or 8 years, I'd say if you've had any thought about it, check out the orientation, because it's definitely worth going through the process if you're interested. It's a life-changing thing to do. So Unity's Lentil book is available now, and you can get a paper version or download it free from the Unity website. The link above will take you to the ordering page. And then we'll be celebrating our beloved B. Salas, who recently made her transition. The family will have her remembrance service on Zoom and Facebook on Saturday, March 6th, at 11 a.m. The links are in the description above and in our e-blast. And as a side note, if you'd like to represent our community during B's service to tell the viewers how special B was to our church or to you, please contact the office. There will also be an open time to share for everyone who wishes to say or a few personal words. And then remember to stay in touch with us. Sign up for texting to get just-in-time reminders, get all the details in our weekly emails, which have all the links to you. Blythe Plankin keeps our Facebook page updated, and Kelby Pritchnick keeps our web page current. So if you have missed, and if you've missed all that, then be sure to read Ruth Trailer's monthly newsletter. So if you need any assistance in any of these areas, please contact the church office. And of course, we'll see you on Zoom for fellowship in a few minutes. The link is above, and our prayer chaplains will be there to offer your support. See you there.
We are celebrating one of our own today. The Young at Heart Award went to Jeanette Domick, Jeanette Domick, on the call with us today. So put your congratulations down in the chat. Say hello to her and let her know how excited you are. But look at how cool that is, that she is the Young at Heart volunteer for 2021 for the Arlington Heights Senior Center. My gosh, she's been there, logged over 3,500 hours. I mean, it's really, truly amazing. So Jeanette, I know you're on with us, and look at all the applause. Evelyn is just clapping up a storm for you there. And so I know that more will be coming by in a second here after the time delay catches up. So congratulations to Jeanette. If you were in church, everybody would be giving you a big hug, patting you on the back, and telling you congratulations. So, and if you ever have anything like this where you're recognized, let us know so that we can celebrate you in the community. It's really nice to be able to do that. Let us know what's going on in your world so that we can celebrate that with you. Again, congratulations to Jeanette. We're really excited for you. So join us next week then as we continue on with week 2 of the Untethered Soul. I'll have another video of Michael and Oprah to get you thinking. And I know that by continuing to work on this. This book was really transformative, and reading it again has reminded me how much I've forgotten. So it was years ago when I first read it. So I'm going to dig deep, and just reading the first few chapters has already really helped me shift. And my reminder to you this week is that you rock. Don't forget that. You are a rock. You do rock. No matter what happens in your week, maybe you'll remember this little picture. You rock. And as we go off into our fellowship, Tatiana's going to play us out, and I will post the rest of the comments. I know we had some nice comments during the service about how this connects with the work that other people do and awarenesses that you had. So let's welcome back our beloved Tatiana as she plays us out. Thank you, Tatiana. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll see you on fellowship.